Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Touchdown, Missouri, 24-21. And updated in play now. Iowa 2.5, 57.5 the total. More updates, Week 18 in the NFL. Josh Allen will start, but will not play long. The Bengals hope to have Brown back Saturday night for the Steeler game. And your big one, Dan Quinn, quote, "We're going to fight like hell to keep the 6th seed." Washington up to 4 at Dallas. All right, cannot wait. Big weekend. A lot happened. A ton of buffoons out there with bizarre coaching decisions. It's time for You Cannot Be Serious. Hit me, Maestro.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
Crank it up.
All right, let's start out with the just number one, the headliner. It's got to be Raheem Morris.
Yes.
Raheem Morris, come on. We're watching that game. How quickly do you think Michael Penix can get to the line? And not to spike the ball, but to run a play, and a play that's deep developing down the field. They catch the ball with Mooney at the 45-yard line. There's 34 seconds left on the clock, and you have 2 timeouts. You also have a kicker who's got a long range of 50 yards, right? Yes. You're going to run a whole nother play. They snapped it with 17. The ball fell to the ground with 14. You cost yourself 20 seconds by that play, and then got 2 defensive penalties, an offside and a pass interference, and had to end up kicking a 56-yard field goal that failed. That's to go to the playoffs.
Yep. To
go to the playoffs, you're going to beat Carolina this week. The game is to get in the playoffs. And they need Belichick. They didn't need Belichick.
Yes.
No. Arthur Blank said no. We got our guy. Raheem Morris, you cannot be serious. Jesus Christ. All right, Zach Taylor. I mean, you dissected it beautifully. Why put the ball in the player's hands? Why even give to Chase Brown? Why throw a route out on the sidelines? He had the opportunity twice to kick the ball with less than 20 seconds left on a chip shot and win the game. No fear, I guess, of Bo Nix and the Denver offense. They couldn't possibly go down and tie the game up. You're lucky they didn't go for 2. You're lucky that Sean Payton's calling timeouts in overtime to give you a 3rd shot at the apple, and then he's throwing the ball from the 2-yard line. It's unbelievable. Zach Taylor.
You cannot be serious.
How about a no hyperbole Hall of Famer in Mario Cristobal?
Oh, yeah.
And that performance in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Cam Ward plays, sets the record, 31 points in the first half. 3 touchdown passes. They're ahead. Now they go to the substitute quarterback. He's got guys fighting him, throwing punches on the sideline.
Joke.
Complete control of the program. 2 defensive players, including 1 All-American, right? But here's the key, Paul. Not a lot of people saw this, but we were sweating it because there was some Miami moneyline action. Iowa State, after a defensive holding call, has 1st and goal at the 2, down by 6. Cristobal has all 3 timeouts left. 1st and goal at the 2 with 1:55 to go. It was the first play out of the 2-minute warning defensive holding. Iowa State runs up the middle. They only get a yard. You think he uses one of his timeouts? No. Lets the clock run 40 seconds off.
Oh.
So that when he gets it back, he only had 1:05. Of course, they stalled at midfield as time ran out. Didn't call a timeout because they wanted to save him for offense. Iowa State gets in on 3rd down. They lose 42-41. Once again, Mario Cristobal.
You cannot be serious.
This is either somebody who's doing something great or somebody who's doing something astonishing or something that's punishing to the fans. I said this last week. There's no human being that could sit there with 2 eyes and say that DTR is an NFL quarterback. 24 for 47 for 170 yards. 47 pass attempts for 170 yards. A quarterback rating of 50. A QBR under 10. A QBR under 30 for his career. No touchdowns and an interception. Cleveland Browns organization.
You cannot be serious.
Baker Mayfield, Paul, on Sunday was 27 for 32, 359 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Sam Darnold, 33 for 43 for 377 and 3 touchdowns against 1 interception. There's one team that had both these guys on their roster and said, nah, don't want neither of them.
That's right.
Carolina Panthers.
You cannot be serious.
I mentioned this earlier as we were talking about Bill Belichick. North Carolina goes to Fenway to play UConn in this bowl game. Their first down came with 28 seconds left in the first half.
Come on.
Against UConn when they went into a prevent. and just went into a really soft zone. Their first down. Their score was on a kickoff return touchdown. UNC Chancellor Bubba Cunningham.
You cannot be serious.
How about some hockey upsets? Let's throw some hockey upsets in here. Let's go to the World Juniors, where Latvia was catching either 5.5 or 6.5 goals against Team Canada. They were 50-1 or 55-1 on the money line.
No.
Before the game started. 3-2 in a shootout. Latvia over the Canadians. Team Canada.
You cannot be serious.
I'm going to outdo you now. Defending NCAA champion Denver.
I saw this.
Played UNLV. UNLV is a club team.
Yes.
They play in the ACHM1. This is a club team against the defending.
Yes.
This is like a junior college team beating UConn last year.
You think so?
In basketball.
Not bad.
This is a club team.
What was it?
UNLV 7-6 in a shootout. The University of Denver hockey program.
You cannot be serious.
Was there a total, a lineup?
I couldn't find out. I don't know.
UNLV beat Denver.
It had to be bigger than Latvia.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a club team,
yes.
Paul. It's like if you put together an over 40 team and
it's like me beating the WNBA girl.
Well, Sequoia Holmes. Anyhow, all right, we'll close with this. Magnus Carlsen. All right, for those of you that follow chess, I guess you would know this. He's the 5-time world chess champion. But how about this?
Yeah.
He's been ranked number 1 every week since 2011. He's playing in a tournament, the World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship in New York on Friday, right? So they come up to him after round 2. He's wearing jeans. They have a dress code that says you can't wear jeans. They gave him a $200 fine, right? Yep. Now he plays round 3, and they said, you need to go change. He said, I'll change before I play tomorrow, the next round. They said, no, you need to change before you play next. He said, I'm not changing. So he says, I had a lunch encounter. I had a meeting. He said, and I went back to my room and I threw on a collared shirt and jacket. I forgot I was wearing jeans. But at this point, they started to threaten to eject me. And I had to stick to my principles. It's absolutely ridiculous that I'm going to get thrown out of a tournament for wearing jeans. They said they had to draw the line. They ejected him from the tournament. They ejected him. He said, well, I held my ground, and now I'll go someplace where the weather is better. This was in New York City.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Magnus Carlsen here. I'm talking about the International Federation of Chess.
You cannot be serious.
Well done.
What a story.
Yeah, crazy.
What a story.
Did you ever lose respect for a friend based on their being unathletic or lack of athletic prowess? I mean, I told that story before. There was this big kid we had in college. His name was Jake Smith. Good guy. And he played football. And we went out, his dad owned land, and we were in Wisconsin. And we're like, hey, let's throw the ball around. And he comes out and he throws like this.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, oh, my God, I couldn't believe it. And it's like the elbow stitched to the side. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How could you can't throw a baseball? That's impossible. What happened? What's wrong? So I'm watching the UConn game. And the sideline reporter.
No. The soft toss.
Yes. He's trying to hit a home run over the Green Monster because the game's at Fenway. So they're doing soft toss. He whiffed every single time.
Because she's jamming him. It was her fault. Did you see the tweet?
Stop.
I almost sent the tweet to Stormy. She was jamming him. She had no room to extend him. So go back and look at it. Put that poll up there.
Get
Whose
out of
fault
here.
Was it? Was it the sideline reporter?
Stop it. You're arguing.
The girl was throwing it. She had it hit on his wrist.
He couldn't hit the softball. He's whiffing every time. He's got the wiffle ball.
No. She was way off. You got to get somebody that can put the ball in.
Get the hell out of here.
Go back and watch that tape. She was awful. She was I almost sent it to Stormy, the video of it.
Every single time with put it up there, and and then they're all, of course, it's Boston. They're riding them. They're talking trash as they should be. And he jumps into the snowbank.
I'll send you the tweet. The tweet was pretty funny. By the way, Stormy on the Rose Bowl.
I saw.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Huge.
Yep.
Exciting. We're on the air live while the game's going on. Dynamite. But did you ever have a story like that? Come on, how can you not hit?
Not of a man. Uh-huh. There's some.
You don't?
No, I never had a friend that was that unathletic. I had some female friends that were embarrassingly unathletic. Like they
couldn't run.
Well, Not they couldn't run. They couldn't catch like the ball and like a soft rubber ball. Like
what would they?
Yeah, they put the wrist this, and then I'd say,
like
some coordination. But.
Sure. I can't believe you're defending that.
Go back and look at the way she was
pitching. I
pitching.
watched the whole thing. I couldn't. Oh, stop.
The pitch kept. It was way inside. Huh? She would never let him extend his arms. Put the ball up on there. Whose fault was it?
You have to. It's like being what's they say with a lawyer. Don't ask a question you know the answer to.
Yeah.
You better know you can hit the ball.
We should have.
Don't put yourself out there on Front Street to embarrass yourself.
On camera, let alone the fans. It's on ESPN.
You're in Boston, for God's sake. Swing and a miss every single time. Ready to try something different? Sign up, start playing the ponies on First Bet. First Bet, U.S.-based, offers wagering on hundreds of races every day across the country and around the world. Sign up, firstbet.com. Promo code VSIN200. Claim a 20% rebate for your first 60 days up to $200. Head to firstbet.com today. I had a rocket for an arm. You could not run on me in amateur ball or high school. I had a rocket. Josh Hansen, the pitcher, would always get mad at me. It's like, you always call for the fastball when a guy's on. I go, yeah, it's a free out. They're going to try to steal. I'm going to throw him out by 10 feet. I got a rocket. And he's like, well, I want to throw the breaking ball. I'm going to give you a free out. What's wrong with you?
You were a catcher?
Yeah.
You were a goalie? Yeah. Were you the center on the football team?
No.
This is the theme running here.
I know. No. A lot of concussions. I'll tell you that. It was a different time back then. No doubt. Nick Bogdanovich, Hall of Famer, Circa Bookmaker, getting ready for the college football playoffs and how the weekend went as well and any line movement. And plus, NFL favorites 14-1 so far this week. Nick in studio next.
This is Follow the Money on VSIN.
Getting good here. 24-21 Iowa. 11 minutes left. Good action. Iowa trying to give it away. And Missouri trying to come back as well. Follow the Money. Pauly, Mike Palm. Mitch back tomorrow. We'll do Week 18 in the NFL coming up. Do you concur? Monday Night Football preview. Good, the bad, the ugly as well. Every Monday, Nick Bogdanovich, Circa Bookmaker, Hall of Famer in studio. Nick B. He tried to get donuts. They shut him down. 20 deep at Pink Box. It only took 17 weeks. He was going to bring in donuts. Bad beat. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you.
That is a bad beat for you. I did go there, and it was 20 deep. I buy stock in Pink Box, all I can say.
Sure, no doubt. That place does so much business. It was in the newspaper. The amount of money that they would have moved by Plaza to put it there. It's bedlam. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not cheap, Paul.
Well, I mean,
it's not cheap at all.
Yeah, but they do a ton of business. Yeah, that's incredible.
I'm a Krispy Kreme guy.
Fair enough. All right, my friend. First things first. How about the NFL? 14-1 favorites. The home dogs have been atrocious all year.
Yeah, early on, it was parity squared. Now it's, the good teams are playing better and the bad teams have quit and been banged up and are playing younger guys. So you often see this sort of like at the end of September in baseball. But yeah, I mean, it's a streaky. Sports betting is very streaky. Right now, the players are on their streak, but it always turns. The books have their run, then the players have a run.
Okay.
And at the end, the book grabs 5 or 6%.
Does a story stick out, though, in all your years doing this since 85? Of an epic run for favorites or an epic?
No, I mean, there was the one that always sticks out is it was 93 or 94, the Thanksgiving 4-day run where they just absolutely trampled the bookmakers that one. I mean, it was just a
college and pro.
It was a tsunami. It started on Thursday. They won every game on Thursday, so they had all the more money to bet on Friday. They won every single game on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was the worst 4 days I've ever seen in a row, and it was in the early 90s.
Okay, excellent. So is it a pain? Is it a bigger pain booking these bowl games and who's in, who's out, or is it Week 18 of the NFL?
I'd probably make the bowl games about $1.40 favorite, but neither are fun. But there's nothing like the bowl games. I mean, these games, one game. I mean, Syracuse went from 7 to 20.
That?
I mean,
how about that?
7 to 20, and back down to 18, and it comes 17. So
I know the touchdown at the end.
Yeah,
isn't it something?
Hey, I got to give Wazoo credit. The kids that showed up played, but Syracuse's offense is hitting on all cylinders right now. So eventually wore them down.
Go ahead, Mike.
Nicky, what about the playoff games coming up here, the next round of 4? I want to ask you specifically about the game tomorrow night on New Year's Eve. I thought this number comes heavy with Penn State, 10.5. They bet it up. I've watched Boise play a lot. James Franklin really hasn't beaten a top team, but you could argue as it's an 11-point favorite, that's not a big win either. Right. Neutral site here. You're not going to have Weatherby to the advantage of Penn State. Your thoughts on this number at 11?
Yeah, these 4 games are the NFL playoff worthy games. They're pretty good. We opened the game 11, got bet up to 12, took some sharp money at plus 12, so we're back at 11, and it'll stay in that general area. You're right. Franklin, he won the playoff game at home against SMU because the quarterback turned it over twice. So maybe he hasn't won the game he needs to win yet. Maybe that took the monkey off his back or this team's back. But, Penn State is very physical. I will give them that, and they'll have that advantage. But Boise's game, plenty of time to prepare, a little fresher. The running back, he has to have a big game. He has to go for at least 150, I think, for them to be in this thing. But
House one early. Big run early would be huge.
Yeah, you got to get in the game, a little momentum. You don't want to fall behind. But yeah, I think when push comes to shove, we're going to end up needing it'll be like a Super Bowl there. I think for straight bets, we'll need the dog, but we'll need the favorite to win because when you're taking 3 or 4 to 1 on the money line, those hundreds and 200s add up. So we'll probably need Penn State to win, but not cover.
Genty's prop is 126.5. He's gone over that 12 of the 13 games. I think UNLV was the only one that held him.
And what's he need for the record? Like 130 or something? Somewhere right in that same general vicinity.
Yeah, because he had 2-something against UNLV.
So,
right. This is the great spot, though, for Boise. Everyone counting them out. Penn State, you want their draw, easy draw, and no one giving them a shot, and then the Magic and the Fiesta Bowl as well. How about New Year's Day? How about what you said, though, Mike, about the first round? The handle was enormous, how big it was.
We had the right combination of the big bettors in, too, right? The six-figure guys. But I said to Derek, well, this Saturday, will we write as much as we do on a normal Saturday when we're booking 80 football? And I mean, almost doubled what we do on a normal. And then we had 2 good pro games, too, on Saturday. But there was a lot of six-figure bets.
Yeah, the way this last 2 weeks have lined up, it's just been a sports bettor's dream. I mean, it's just bang, 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 bang. And it just keeps going and going. So, I can't wait for this weekend.
I would think super wild card weekend now is going to be just the nuts now, added with Thursday college football semifinal 1, Friday college football semifinal 2, wild card.
Yeah, the bar will be set really high for that one, so it'll be incredible.
How about Texas-Arizona State?
Texas-Arizona State, taking some sharp money now on Arizona State plus 14. So
there you go.
I think we went up 13.5. We opened. First bet was on the favorite, went up to 14, and now it's bet down to like 12.5. So good two-way on that one. I think Arizona State's live. I took some 14 for my wallet. So,
okay, good.
Texas doesn't have to go in there and manhandle them. There's other teams playing with incredible confidence. They'd run through a brick wall for this coach. Yep. So as long as they execute, I think they'll be in this game.
Well, they are confident. Scatterboo. No one can stop me. He said. Well,
did he say that?
He did that. Well, Texas State did, but that's interesting. He said that the other day. Okay, the granddaddy of them all. You got to love it. They hold the whole sport hostage. Got to have the 2:00 start. Sugar Bowl gets over at midnight, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. What do you think here? Ohio State 2.
Yeah, we opened Ohio State 1. The early money's been for Ohio State. We're up to 2. So I think that'll be. You're going to have as limit as high as you want on that game. But that game will stay right below 3, I believe.
And then Notre Dame and Georgia. What are the chances Notre Dame goes off the favorite when this game kicks? I only want to say that because I want all 4 of the teams that got the buys to be dogs.
Good point.
To be dogs to ruin. So get this seeding done with as a case in point. But it's 1. Look, they've played Georgia 3 times in the last 10 years. They've all been close games. They've all been one-score games. Yeah. Can Notre Dame stop the run? I mean, that's what it's going to come down to in this game. But there are a lot of sharp opinions on both sides here.
Yeah, can they stop the run? And they lost their best defensive tackle, so that really hurts. But this game has been tremendous action so far. God. I mean, we opened dead pick 'em. The first limit bet we took, or the first bet we respected, was on Notre Dame. We went to Notre Dame 1, and then it was back to pick, then to Georgia 1, 1.5, and now it's back down to Georgia 1. So It's very possible they could go off the favor, but I don't think they will. I think it'll be either Pick or Georgia 1. But again, just to me, it's if I only could watch one of the 4 games, this would be the one I'd watch. Even though Ohio State's Oregon pretty darn good, this is the one.
Yep.
I want to see if big brand Notre Dame can beat the big bullies of the SEC. This is a interesting matchup to say the least.
What would you make Oregon, Texas in the semifinal, or Ohio State, Texas?
Oregon and Texas. Right around Pick or Oregon 1 maybe, but real close to Pick 'em.
Okay. Penn State, Notre Dame.
Penn State, Notre Dame. Same thing. About dead pick.
Penn State, Georgia, same?
Georgia's small.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Notre Dame would be favored over Penn State.
Well, it depends what it looks like.
If they beat Georgia. But
Okay.
That would mean Big Games James has got 2 in a row.
Yeah, but still not beat a top 10 or a top 5 team. I mean, he's once in his career has he done it.
What's he make, like 9 or 10 million
it's
a year?
outrageous.
Right?
Don't even look at the buyout. You'll vomit. It's the worst. What was the biggest swing so far in the games? Was it Miami, Iowa State?
Yeah, because we had big money line parlays going to Miami of Florida, and the first 2 legs were in. And he looked pretty good early. I mean, but it was a wild game, boy. It was 21-all into 1. I mean,
in play was 102.5.
The total was 61 and went over by halftime. I mean, It was crazy. It was great action, but I could only have seen his face if when Cam Moore didn't come out of the dressing room to play in the second half. I mean, I don't. That was never announced. Nobody knew about it. So, buyer beware with the Bulls. That's for sure.
Sure. What was it? It was tied at halftime, Mike?
No, Miami was up 3, 31-28.
Yeah,
Miami was up 3. We could have got off it.
Could have.
But that is.
They still led all the way to the last minute.
They did.
Yeah. All good points. Great to see you, my friend. Can't wait till next Monday. We're talking about more matchups here.
I'll get it Pink Box at 12:50 to make my my 2:15 appearance.
You got it. Thanks a lot. Yeah, you're the best. All right, up next we'll get to Week 18. Oh, Missouri just kicked a field goal.
Yeah, tie game.
So how much time?
8 minutes. Or so.
Okay, 24-24. Good ball game. We'll get to Week 18 coming up next. We've already seen significant line movement and what coaches have been saying all throughout the day, how they're going to treat this, either for the draft or for seeding, or you're already locked into your seed. What are you going to do with your starters? Follow the money. Mike Paul and Pauly Howard, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Still tied, 7 minutes left. Missouri and Iowa. In a good ball game, Iowa was just up 10. Missouri fighting back. Would you lay in that game, 2.5?
2.
Okay, so going to be a good finish here.
Closed 1. Got some Iowa money late here.
Okay, excellent. Week 18 in the NFL. And we're going to start right off the bat with our G-Bank best bet of the day. Ravens 17.5 against the Browns and your guy DTR. Ravens need it for the division. If you watched, I tweeted, I know nobody's watching, but if you watch it other than Palm, this Miami-Cleveland game, and number one, McDaniel, the penalties, they can't get first downs. They wouldn't let Huntley throw the ball. You have Tyreek Hill and Achane. Come on. And then they couldn't pick up 4th and 1 with the quarter. They didn't go quarterback sneak. They gave it to Achane, and that got blew up. They blew that up to think that this team is going to go 9-8. But can't make the playoffs because they were completely lost without Tua. Blew a 9-point lead in the second half to home to Arizona. Couldn't beat Will Levis in Tennessee. Lost to the Colts in a game they only gave up 16 points. Ridiculous. In any event, what are the Browns going to do offensively? And if you see how the Ravens are cooking on offense between Henry, Jackson, his weapons, oh my God. You might say they're going to pull people, whatever. This has got 38-3 written all over it. Ravens, best bet, brought to you by G-Bank, official bank of VSiN. If you're serious about sports betting, you need the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards treat sportsbooks and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when you put your own money on the card. GBank treats gaming transactions as purchases, so you're typically saving up to the 3 to 5% on cash advance fees right there. Right now, limited time, get a $250 bonus after you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days. Apply now, vsin.com/GBank. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval, terms and conditions apply. You think they put, I mean, what you watched the whole thing. Fiasco, right? They're not going to
against
score.
any team. They couldn't score against that Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, right.
Lou Anarumo.
Yep.
They gave him the ball 8 times in the second half. Could do nothing.
I wouldn't be surprised Baltimore gets the total themselves at 42. Bengals down to 1.5. 47.5 against Pittsburgh, the late game Saturday. Tomlin, I don't think will rest people if the Ravens lock up the division beforehand. I don't know how he'll treat it in the second half, though. That's what you're walking into with some of these games. Bengals obviously need it to stay alive, although their chances very slim to make it. They're blocked by Miami, too. They need Denver to lose. Kansas City sitting everybody. And then they need Miami to lose to the Jets.
I just don't think you can get Denver to lose. That's the problem.
Yeah. Plus the incentive, I'm not saying they're afraid of anybody. They're awesome. They have the best player. If I'm Kansas City, I don't want to see Cincinnati. Keep Cincinnati out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Absolutely.
Play. Yeah. You'd be sitting guys for 23 days, though. That's aggressive. That's a lot of time off.
Well, he knows what he's doing. They've won 2 in a row, so I'm not going to question him.
I know. That's a long layoff, though. Tampa down to 13. 43.5 here at Circa against the Saints.
But that's probably the hedge money. I mean, you got to think that some of these numbers are going to be distorted.
Well, the money line's
going to, yeah, it's going to get distorted with these. We might have $1 million in hedge bets on the Saints.
Great point.
We might.
Great
You got
point.
tickets are worth $800,000.
How much are you going to lower this? It's down to plus 625. I mean, you're right. How low could you go?
Maybe get down to $5. I don't know. If you get $1 million.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Bills, 2.5, 38 against the Patriots. Oh, my God. Patriots need to lose to get the number 1 overall pick.
Right. The Bills are locked into the 2.
Allen's going to start, but only going to play probably a series or 2.
Does he need to do anything for the MVP or not? Or is this,
no.
This won't be considered?
No. I'd give it to him. Stop with the Joe Burrow stuff. They've lost 8 games. Come on, please, Zach Taylor, cut it out. It's a little common sense here. He's had a great season. We're not giving the guy the MVP on an 8-8 team. I don't care how bad the defense is. Packers 9, 40 against the Bears.
See, that's where I think is the play, is the Packers. They don't want to go to Philadelphia, and the Bears are just a complete disaster. What are the Bears playing for? To keep Thomas Brown's job? That's over.
Pathetic.
Yeah, right? I mean...
Yeah, it was pathetic Thursday.
I'm not sure Dunze's going to play. I like the Packers a lot here.
How concerned are you about Jordan Love?
He looked like he was drunk for 3 quarters. They kept showing him on the sideline. What was that look? He was out of it. And then, of course, then when Minnesota wants to go to the deep zone, they just start throwing the ball down the field.
Yeah. That was a tough beat, too. Wasn't that 7-3 at halftime or 10-3 at halftime?
10-3.
Come on.
10-3.
Okay, this is good. Dolphins won against the Jets. Total of 39. I already played the under. 41.5 was too high. If it's Huntley, it's going to be Huntley. I can't imagine. Yeah. If it's Huntley against Rodgers, I like Miami. If it's Huntley against Taylor, I like the Jets.
I like the Jets.
Either way, I like the under.
Both unders will be like running clock games. Short. But the Jets' defense is bad.
It's pathetic.
They're really bad. How could this be? They were ranked as the top. Each portion of the line, the linebackers, the secondary was ranked number 1 by Pro Football Focus. They can't stop the run. They can't get off the field on 3rd and long.
You're supposed to get a shot in the arm when you fire the coach. It's been a disaster in New York and Chicago after firing the kick. Worse.
They fired their effective defensive coordinators is what they did.
Denver 10-39 against Carson Wentz. It opened 9.
I wouldn't want to lay the points. I would
really? You wouldn't do it?
Just too many points. I would just play the money line.
Okay.
Or however you want to do it, tease it down, whatever.
No one has Denver here in Survivor.
Nobody. It's an irrelevant game.
All right. Chargers 6-41 against the Raiders. This means a lot to the Chargers. If the Steelers lose, Harbaugh said, quote, "We're going to do what's best for the team."
I think it means a lot to the Raiders. These guys are playing inspired football. Did you watch them in that game? They were fired. They're trying to save Pierce's job. Not so much the Cowboys for Big Mike.
I know. Well, what Bowers has done this year. the weapon. They got that draft.
He
pick
set
right.
all the records.
Yeah.
Yards, receptions. He crushed Nakua.
Colts 5-46. Do they respond? Do you see anything on it? Steichen could be gone.
They're a soft team.
The McAfee rant on social media might have
about Ballard.
got some people.
There's a lot of heads need to roll in Indianapolis.
I wouldn't be surprised if they clean house. That's unacceptable what happened. And going back to Richardson taking himself out of the game on third down and what happened, Flacco turning it over.
I thought Flacco, if you watch the game, Paul, even the first drive when they end up kicking a field goal, Flacco was off.
Yeah.
Right? The deep passes were way off.
Yep.
Not close.
Yep.
But you never thought the Giants would put up those kind of points.
Mm-hmm. Atlanta 7.5, 47.5 against the Panthers. This Carolina defense, oh boy. I mean, they can't stop anything. And now with Hubbard out for the year, it was, I'll tell you though, but the rapport with Thielen, again, he had a huge game here. So I would look at Thielen props again, ladder those. But what does Atlanta do if they see Tampa's up 21-0 early?
Well, I still think they play it out.
All right.
I don't think they pull all these. I don't think you can say all the games.
I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm just saying from a morale
motivational
standpoint, and that's right. But they should be able to take out Carolina. Again, Dan Quinn, we're going to fight like hell to keep the 6th seed. They don't want to see Philadelphia. Washington 4-44 against Dallas. That was ugly. Rush had the pick 6. Dowdle had a good job on the ground, but without Lamb. And then Philly doing whatever they wanted with second and third string quarterbacks.
Pickett looked like he should be an MVP candidate.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was really bad.
Right, and Barkley, you knew that would happen too. That was easy.
Are they going to play Barkley? Are they going to let him go for the record?
See, well, I'll ask you this coming up, and do you concur?
Okay.
But Adam Schefter said, no, it's all right. Adam Schefter said, I'd be shocked if he plays. He's right there. I mean, once in a lifetime, isn't it?
I saw Rex.
He's only the 9th guy to get to.
I saw Rex Ryan say there's no way they can play him. Absolutely no way they can let him play. This record has survived a lot of good running backs' careers.
Yeah.
Right? Derrick Henry.
I was surprised with the list. Were you? The guys, Chris Johnson did it. Jamal Lewis did
2000,
it.
2000, yeah.
Yeah. Davis.
Chris Johnson had a lot of big, long runs.
Yeah.
That's how he got there.
Seahawks 39.5 at the Rams.
I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I think the more motivated team is the Rams.
Yeah. And Geno's
trying to hold on to the 3.
There are some. Adam Chernoff had a good job on his podcast today talking about player incentives. There's a ton of money to be made by Geno Smith in this game, hitting some incentives. It's 3 at DraftKings, 3.5 here. Oh boy, I don't want. I can't get the 4 seed if I'm the Rams. I'd much rather play Washington than
right now. Washington's
than the
6.
Minnesota Detroit loser.
Would you rather play the rookie quarterback than a team that's won 14 games?
Yeah. All right.
Plus, you can move the ball on the Commanders.
All right. Let me give you the percentages here. ESPN. Pittsburgh is 68% to get the 5 seed. Chargers 26 and Baltimore slim. 6 seed. Chargers 73%. 7 seed Denver 65%. Miami 25. Cincinnati 9. Rams are 66% to get the 3 seed. Tampa 54% to get the 4 seed. Washington is 74% to get the 6. Green Bay 76% chance to get the 7. We'll get to the late games coming up next. Update the bowl games as well. And in one of the games, we also had a 5-point line movement as well. Week 18, we roll on here on a tricky week for everyone involved, bookmakers and bettors. Follow the Money VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Incredible moment in the bowl game. Tied at 24. 4 minutes left. Missouri from 56. Bang. Right down the middle. I couldn't believe
it. It was a 51-yarder to tie it earlier.
Yeah. What a leg on this kid.
I didn't know what Drinkowitz was doing there, sending him out for 56.
Yeah. 27-24 Missouri.
Falcons could have used that kid last night.
No kidding. Did he just punt 4th and 2?
He punted 4th and 2 with 3:20 to go. He's got 2 timeouts.
Oh, my God.
I like it. I think it's a great decision if you're laying 2 with Missouri. Now,
He punted 4th and 2 with 3 minutes, down 3?
Well, it was on his own 33, Paul.
Oh, my God.
And he thought the punt would get a better roll. They need one first down. Missouri needs 1 first down.
They only have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, but they get the ball back over 2 if they just stop them from getting a first down.
God. Yeah, there's 8 yards off. What is he doing?
5 yards. But you're getting you got an Iowa ticket here? You're going nuts here.
By the way, some people agree with you that the
every single person.
Well, the first 3 were terrible throws.
Now there wasn't one in the wheelhouse. Not one.
Oh, bull! The guy who couldn't hit the wiffle ball and swung and missed every single time. Well, the first 3...
She's throwing him at his breastbone.
Well, the first 3 he couldn't even swing. He caught it.
First of all, the angle and the length she was from him was ridiculous.
She's too close.
She's right on top of him. He's going to hit her in the head with the bat.
Back up. What are you doing? Back up. She's right. It's
no
ridiculous.
Rehearsal, though. You're right. They should have rehearsed it.
Yes, absolutely. But it's just to embarrass yourself like that. Come on. Back to Week 18. 49ers, Cardinals, pick 'em. Total of 46. I love it. I love Arizona here. Playing hard. Should have ruined the Rams. Chances to win the division, at least for the time being. Big tonight will be see what the 49ers give you. Do the 49ers actually show? You're right. This is underreported. They've lost 5 of 6.
And they beat the Bears. The Bears had 4 yards in the first half that game.
Yes, it's been ugly. And Purdy has regressed. Not to mention they're down. He's got 2 third-string offensive linemen out there tonight as well. 5-point move on this game. Texans-Titans. It was as high as Tennessee 5. Got down to 3, and then Ryans came out today and said, everyone better be ready to play. We're not playing well. Pick them, 39. Actually, I agree with them. I mean, I was in...
You agree with them they're not playing well?
Yes.
They're awful.
It was 31-2. So get guys out there and try to get a little something going into the playoffs.
It's Derrick Henry's fault. Why is he turning sideways in the end zone? The 2 points. It should have been 31-0.
The whole thing, but yeah, the play call.
Very little resistance from a division champ.
Okay, out of order here at Circa, but going in rotation order though. But
here's your ball game, Paul. 3rd and 3.
Yep.
For the Missouri.
Okay. Stuffed it.
Short.
They stuff it. Okay.
Ferentz worked beautifully. The plan worked beautifully.
Yeah, he's a genius. Okay. Sunday night, Lions 2.5, 52 the total. One of the biggest games in NFL regular season history. We could have a 14-win wild card team. You're either the 1 or you're the 5. Also, the chance that they meet again coming up here sooner rather than later. I'm taking the Vikings.
You know, Mitch, as a Packer fan, was all over the Vikings yesterday. That was his best play, and he was right. You're a Vikings fan. You're going to take the Vikings here?
Yeah, once they traded Randy Moss, I was done with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was so shocked and appalled by the whole thing.
All right.
You don't trade one of the greatest wide receivers of all time in the prime of his career. I mean, you work it out. You certainly don't listen to Dante Culpepper. I hated how they did that. In any event, look how they're playing.
Are there still 3s out there?
I'll look at the screen here in a second.
Get a 3.
But I just don't think Detroit's going to be able to stop them. And how O'Connell and Darnold are clicking here.
O'Connell's awful good. He just does this with every quarterback now.
Yeah. He's got so many weapons. That's the other thing. Now, people forget how Nick Mullins moved the ball, but he kept turning the ball over, and that's why O'Connell hated him. There's a 3 at Westgate.
With juice?
Or regular? No, there's 3 even money at Caesars and Will Hill as well. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yep, I take the 3. Why, you would take Detroit?
I would take over.
Well, yeah, yep, okay.
Even it's 52.
Here's another tough one. Because you have the first, the draft pick scenario, and then how do the Eagles treat it? Eagles are lane 3 against the Giants. Locke came out and said, don't care about the draft pick, want to win the game. Total of 38. Also could be a third-string quarterback for the Eagles. No Hurts. Pickett got hurt. I don't know how they're going to treat it and how they're going to. I doubt Barkley plays. Sirianni said, still gathering information about what we're going to do. That's his quote. Boy, this is a tough one. Can you imagine if the Giants go from the number 1 pick to like 9 or 10?
Yeah, they'd be at the bottom of the top 10.
Yeah. There's so much on the line here, and they could really screw this up if they win. Again, right now, the
Eagles should want to do that.
That's
let
right.
The Giants
don't help
win
out your rival.
Drop them down.
That's why this is fascinating. Don't help them out. Right now, the Patriots are the 1. They lose, they get the 1. They're guaranteed a top 5 pick. Let me read it from Field Yates, too. He had a good breakdown. Tennessee, Cleveland, and then the Giants. All the same record. The Patriots will pick number 1 overall if they lose. The Patriots are the only team that's locked into a top 5 pick no matter what happens. 4 teams still have a shot at the pick, number 1. Patriots, Browns, Titans, and Giants. Field Yates, ESPN. Then you have these teams that are all 4-12. Jacksonville's 5. Carolina's 6. The Jets are 7. The Raiders have really screwed themselves going from 2 to 8. And the Bears are 9. I think the Bears would be the 9th pick when they were 4-2, 4-3 after they beat Jacksonville in London.
They were 4-2.
Yep. So all those teams are 4-12. So a lot can happen here. Who screws it up? I think the Giants win. I think it'll just be 2-scoop vanilla offense by Philly. Get out of there. Don't play anybody. Don't get hurt. Running clock. And Locke will make enough plays, and the Giants will win. And the fan base is going to be livid. They're going to get like the 9th or 10th pick. Imagine if that would happen. Hello, you're watching the game. Hello.
20-yard punt for Missouri. Might as well have gone for it.
Okay, it all worked out.
20-yard punt. Ferentz knew it all. I'll get the ball at midfield with 2 minutes to go if I punt.
Yeah. You're assuming they weren't going to get the first down?
And that they would have a 20-yard punt.
Yeah, okay.
Unreal.
But this is wild for Week 18 about how they're going to, the teams that are in, how they're going to play it. If you're Harbaugh, you have to go for this if the Steelers lose. You got to move up so you can take on. You're not going to be afraid of the Chiefs. I mean, you're in those games. So I would go out and play that route too. Give me the 5. I'll get the Steeler loss. I'll play Houston. I can beat them, and then we'll see what happens. But I also think Kansas City, don't play anybody and make sure Cincinnati doesn't get in.
I agree with that.
They should have beat them in the first game.
Yeah. That's the bigger thing.
No one wants Cincinnati.
They've been their kryptonite. They have their only team that's beat them in the AFC in the last 5 years has been Cincinnati.
Should have beat them in the first game. Yeah. If you're Buffalo, you think you want to see them? No. Would you rather see Bo Nix coming to town? Made a couple nice plays, but that's what.
What do you think about Buffalo?
You think I'm limping in? You're a little concerned?
But I mean, you're the 2 seed. You're going to have to beat Baltimore at Buffalo and go to Kansas City. That's pretty tough.
That is tough.
They're in a tough spot.
Yeah, I don't. There's a lot to what Alan said about we're keeping a lot of tricks in the bag, but
still in a very tough spot.
That's I would take Baltimore in that game.
I would too.
I saw what happened the first time, and then this team also doesn't play well and hasn't played well.
The only team that will beat Baltimore is Baltimore. Let's just be honest, Paul.
You're that strong.
It was the same last year. They beat themselves. They stopped running the football down by 1 score.
Yeah. What do I take away? What can I stop? I can't. Lamar can run. Lamar can throw it to Flowers and the 2 tight ends. I can give it to Henry. Here's a B, right? Here's 150 yards right down your throat, right?
Yeah.
Cold weather's not a problem because of the rushing attack. It's just the damn coaching, right? Now, the turnovers did him in a couple of the games. He was awful in the first performance against the Chargers. He was raw. And wasn't ready. And then all the turnovers on the 14-2 team against the Titans. But this was just what Monken did was just an abomination.
He let Reed go into the second half, run the ball 3 times, and punt knowing they're going to win. They just ran the clock out for a whole half.
Yeah. Yeah. It was bad. So much on. I can't recall from a draft standpoint so much being on the line because you got 4 teams 3-13 and 5 teams 4-12. And you nailed it earlier at the show. Just if New England loses, the haul they're going to get, because one of these teams will be desperate to get a quarterback. Whether they can take Hunter or just trade down and they could get a couple guys. They could get Hunter and some other players.
4.5 yards
what they
for
decide
Iowa.
to do.
Clock running under a minute.
Yeah, play of the game. Yeah,
now they'll make this. But
are you the kind of player who wants to drop $10,000 or more on an NFL line at the best price in the market? Or maybe you're looking for instant acceptance on your in-game bets. You need Sport Trade, the app that's revolutionizing sports betting. $4 lines instead of the standard $10. Instant in-game betting and a dedicated player service. Sport Trade delivers a premium betting experience like no other. Live in Jersey, Colorado, Iowa, Arizona, and Virginia. Download Sport Trade today. Use code VSiN. 10% cash back on every wager during your first week. Got to be 21 or older to play. Terms apply. $4 lines. We love you, Sport Trade.
Stop them, Paul. G-Bag best bet. Missouri covers.
There it is. Good call. Good. The bad, the ugly coming up next.